While the army says it killed Field Marshal in an operation in the forests of Libya Lem of the southwest region of Cameroon, some Cameroonians are expressing concerns and rather versions that are different from what is stated by key army officials of Cameroon. They are raising questions and concerns, also advancing other narratives as far as what led to the killing of the Red Dragon leader in the conflict-stricken southwest region of Cameroon. The assassination of a 26-year-old university student has created panic in Bobongo, a locality in the city of Douala. Who killed the 26-year-old student is a question to be answered in this edition of the news. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for making the right choice to be informed by our #1 television channel. We are Equinoxe, live from Douala. We're going to be having a guest to talk about Field Marshal in the course of this newscast. Talking on Equinoxe televised program The Inside on Sunday, the Director General of the Southwest Development Authority, Sueda, says the government is fighting hard to bring development to the villages stricken and ravaged by the armed conflict that has been running in the two English-speaking regions of Cameroon for over 5 years now. He told Babila Jonathan that yes, the Southwest region has suffered enormously from the armed conflict, but they are trying to bring back development to where development ceased to exist for over 5 years. Immaculate Fogwe is the lady who compiled the reactions of the president on the program with Babila Jonathan, The Inside. Her report.
The over 5-year-old armed conflict in the northwest and southwest regions is having immense human, physical and developmental impact on the population. Permanent destruction of human capital through death has equally contributed in damaging both economies.
We must be determined to resolve our differences in another way rather than destroying, like it has been the case for the last 5 years and counting. And like we said, especially when it comes to human capital that we are losing. We are not only just losing human capital in terms of people who are being killed, we are also losing even the future generation when children are not given the opportunity to go to school.
Speaking on the weekly program The Inside, Dr. Bisong Tui Agok adds that COVID-19 and poor road network equally played a great role in hampering the development of both regions.
The hinterlands, I think, is still very precarious in most of the hinterlands because access is not very reassuring. Ask a question to somebody from the southwest, what do you need? What is the priority number 1? I will say road. What is number 2? He will say road. What is number 3? He will still say road. That is true because the roads, not many of them are tarred. In the southwest, we have the only tarred road is from maybe from the Mongo River to Limbe and from Mutengene to Kumba and now to Mamfe and of course the Bamenda-Mamfe axis.
The Southwest Development Authority, SOEDA, is preoccupied with improving the living standards and infrastructures of those living in the Southwest region.
If we not only build infrastructure, we accompany farmers in their agricultural activities in terms of providing improved planting material, in terms of building marketing infrastructure, for instance, rural markets, farm gate hangars.
Despite all the efforts made by SOEDA in enhancing developmental projects in the Southwest region, a greater proportion of the region is still in what observers describe as chronic enclavement.
Dr. Bisong Tui, in the course of the program with Babila Jonathan, went further to explain just how insecurity has hampered and has that is facilitated the abandonment of key developmental projects in several parts of the southwest region of Cameroon. Take a listen to him in the following extract selected by Babila Jonathan and Immaculate Fogwe.
The crisis that we have been living for the last 5 or 6 years now, even the farm-to-market roads have not had any attention. And we can't blame anybody for not providing attention because it has not been easy to penetrate those areas. We are working on a project, and even for us to study some of the roads that we are now launching tenders for those roads to be constructed, it took us far more longer than it was necessary because of the crisis, just for us to be able to study those roads. While we hope that things improve for the better, we definitely have coping strategies that we have developed and allowing us to penetrate some of the relatively friendly areas. We have more or less, I would say, a mapping of the region. There are areas of high risk, and we try to caution our staff on how to go to those areas. For instance, I will take a simple example. I know this situation of security is not static. It's very, very volatile. You can have an area today that is a green area, and not long after it becomes something else. Last year we lost a bulldozer, which is still in the field today.
And still in the conflict regions of Cameroon, we move from the southwest to the northwest region of Cameroon, precisely to the Donga Mountain, where the divisional officer from Kambe Central Subdivision has charged outdoors and heads of the 17 villages making up Kambe Central Subdivision to work in harmony and in synergy to bring back stolen cattle in all the villages and outdoors making up the Kambe Central Subdivision. The divisional officer from Kambe, Ngida Lawrence Chair, was speaking during a semester meeting, which also was an occasion for them to evaluate the security and administrative coordination of activities within the central subdivision of the Donga Mountain Division. The event, according to video, was highly attended by traditional rulers coming from all the villages that make up Kambe Central Subdivision, but also the presence of service heads who used the occasion to explain to the population the services offered by their different units in order to bring the people to the services offered by the government of Cameroon through their institutions in various parts of the country. Let's take a listen to the Dio. In the following extract, he spoke to the men and women of the press shortly after the meeting at the Baku Hall in Kambe.
The meeting saw the participation of all the subdivisional delegates and service heads, all the traditional authorities, religious authorities, members of legalized syndicates, and the population at large. In the course of the meeting, we reviewed the general security situation on Kambe subdivision, village after village, adorate after adorate, so that we will be able to know if we are on a good footing or not. But from the general evaluation in our meeting, we can say with a high degree of certainty that we are on a good footing. The security situation is good, the morale of the population is very high, and they are ready more than ever before to continue with their spirit of collaboration with the administrative authority, with the forces of law and order, to see that Kambe subdivision, the peace we enjoy here is maintained, and the peace continue to grow from strength to strength. We also evaluated the functioning of all the services of the subdivision, and we had different paper presentations which is aimed at sensitizing the population on what each service has to offer, on the different government projects and programs that are meant from Kambe subdivision, so that the populations will know when to come in and how to benefit from these projects.
The divisional officer indicated further that it was an evaluation meeting to evaluate the current situation of individual villages adorate with respect to schools, activities of terrorists, according to him, and their sympathizers within his administrative unit, relationship between the natives and Fulani communities, cattle theft, functioning of village vigilante groups in all the villages. As he indicated, it brought together the funds of Kambe, Binshwa, Binka, Mbot, Wat, Nwangri, Ba, Chup, Bongom, Kup, Tabinken, Njab, B, Binjeng, Sa Konchep and Kungi, as well as Ardoret of Nkambe, Binka, Binjeng, Mokungi, Konchep, and Nwangri, according to the Divisional Officer Ngida Lawrence Che. And as we told you in our top stories, the assassination of a 26-year-old university student has sent panic in the Bobongo neighborhood of the city of Douala, precisely in the Douala Free municipality. This as a result of his assassination, which locals say was hired by, or was masterminded by talks hired by an individual arrest Chungang. The corpse of Yannick, who hails from Bamswa in the west region of Cameroon, has been placed at the mortuary, as our reporter Anna Bila tells us in the following report.
It is a sad atmosphere at the family residence of late Julio Yannick, situated at Bobongo in the village neighborhood of the Douala 3 area. Yannick's mother is mourning the death of her 26-year-old son, Muber Julio Yannick, killed in cold blood by yet to be identified individuals with the alleged complicity of a certain Madame Henriette Chungang.
Quand on a cassé le train, les gens sont venus verser les choses ici dans ma cour.
The mother of the deceased recounts that when houses were being demolished in their quarter for the construction of a drainage system, affected neighbors carried their valuable items to her house to safeguard them when the bulldozers arrived. Surprisingly, one of her neighbors, Madame Henriette Chungang, an owner of a primary school in the area, came complaining that her gas bottle and TV set are missing.
N'importe qui prend ces choses, vu que je ne connaissais pas que c'est la chose de tel ou de tel.
Yannick's mother said she opened the door and told Madame Chungang to get in and check.
On lui a dit que sa bouteille à gaz est ici dans ma maison. J'ai ouvert la porte grandement. Entre dans la maison. Si tu trouves la bouteille.
The latter then left without a word. 3 weeks after, she was in the market but was caught and informed that her child Yannick was lured and stabbed to death severally.
Baptiste, regardez. Je ne savais plus qu'il y avait un problème. Je suis resté au marché, on est venu me porter. Oh mon enfant, oh.
On est venu garder les choses ici, n'importe qui venait récupérer ça par la personne.
This other neighbor confirms that they all came to keep their items at Yannick's family house since their house was far away from the covert.
On est venu garder les choses à côté.
They came and collected their items without any problem. Now their child has been killed because of a gas bottle. As it got information that their friend has been attacked, other young men in the quarters stormed the residence of Madame Henriette Chungang to warn her of an imminent attack if anything should happen to Julio Yannick.
Il vient ici, dit que madame, si tu mon ami la meurt, c'est que je vais te découper, on va te tuer aussi.
Unfortunately, Yannick died from severe wounds and bleeding as he was being rushed to the Tegao District Hospital. In Anga, the school and house of the accused Madame Henriette was set ablaze by the locals. The corpse of Yannick is in the mortuary, while Mr. and Mrs. Jean-Marie Chungang are being questioned by the judicial police in Bonanjo.
The Minister Envoy of Cameroon's Prime Minister Chief Dr. Joseph John Guti to the Southwest Chiefs Conference has called on traditional rulers of the Southwest region of Cameroon to call their sons and daughters in the diaspora to stop what he qualified as sponsoring of banditry at home in the name of the struggle. The Director of Cabinet at the Prime Minister's office was speaking in Buea over the weekend during an elective General Assembly of Southwest Chiefs Conference. We have to do this with Derek Jato from Buea in the following report.
The arms conflict in Anglophone Cameroon has fractured nearly all chiefs and their chiefdoms in the southwest region. And some traditional rulers have died as a result.
I call for a minute of silence for our departed.
With others having their palaces burned, they have been directly targeted by separatist fighters. And today these custodians of the Southwest tradition have managed to be in Boya for an elective General Assembly of the Southwest Chiefs Conference, something that they have not been able to do so for about 4 years now. The occasion is under the patronage of the Cameroon Prime Minister and Head of Government, Chief Dr. Joseph Dion Gute, and the Cameroon PM Hassan Minister, Director of Cabinet at the Prime Minister's Office, Ebone Confiance, to represent him. And the minister brought with him the message of encouragement and tenacity.
Let me call on the executive that assumed power today, that the head of government, Chief Dr. Joseph Dion Gute, implores you to remain conscious of the powerful role and the use to it to reconcile our communities and restore peace therein.
And to those who are still holding arms against the state, should drop them.
The Prime Minister Head of Government dispatched me to re-echo and reiterate the presidential offer of peace to our children who are still carrying arms to drop and join in nation building. Urge our children in the diaspora to stop sponsoring banditry at home, but use their resources for constructive purposes of local development of their respective villages.
As Chief Obenefode Moses of Bajo Village in a Yumujok subdivision in Manu Division of the Southwest region takes over as President of the Southwest Chiefs Conference. From Chief Mafaninje Martins of Fako Division, the new team made their roadmap public.
In the next couple of days, the executive shall be holding meetings and consultations with divisional presidents and our College of Wise Men to chart a way forward in the quest for peace.
It is now about teamwork.
So we intend to bring in a lot of transparency.
It means the team was quite a ready team.
The choice of the elected officials or the selected officials today is a wonderful choice.
The realization of the Southwest Chief Secretariat is one of the projects to be realized by this new team.
Derijato, then let's go eating first with Immaculate Fogo. When we come back, Simanji Kangebe will be taking us on sports. Before we meet our guests, remember that tonight we shall be talking the Anglophone crisis. We're coming from the weekend that was characterized, among others, by the assassination of Field Marshal and the presentation of his lifeless body to inhabitants of the chief town of the Meme Division. That's in Kumba. We shall be asking our guests tonight what adds to or subtracts from the Anglophone crisis with the assassination of Field Marshal and the presentation of his lifeless body to the people. But remember that the version of the army in Cameroon that he was killed in a military operation is being contested by some Cameroonians. They are advancing their opinions. We shall be talking about that too, ladies and gentlemen. But Immaculate Fogo first takes us on eating.
Sea oysters, locally called in Cameroon as bisonda, is a delicacy loved by several persons, especially those living in coastal areas. Bisonda fishing is one of the major activities carried out by the population of Idea, Senegal Maritime Division, Lithura region of Cameroon. Men, women, and even children are all engaged in the activity. As early as 6 a.m., the harvesters set their boats ready for a fruitful catch. While in the river, the oyster man dives in alongside his net in search of the precious misonda, while others make use of their bare hands. After a reasonable catch, they all head back home. The oysters are later boiled the shell plucked out, and a good quantity dried and later packed in big bags. In Wanko, oysters are harvested within a period of 5 months, that is, from February to June. After this period, no one is allowed to engage in the activity. The Bisonda season has finally come to an end in Wanko. After 5 months of intense work, those involved in the activity have decided to crown the day with merrymaking.
We're glad because we have the activity of Bisonda or Palu today. Today is the closing of the activity of Bisonda in Malimba town. We used to make 5 months of work, starting February to June.
Though this activity has been able to generate income for families, there are lots of risks involved. We frequently fall sick. Some people complain of painful eyes, others ears. To protect my eyes, I wear swimming glasses. I protect my hands by wearing gloves because the shells injures our hands. This year's celebration is unique because no casualties were recorded.
As many men don't have accident, today we're glad because of that. Before going to water, we need to enjoy.
Bisonda could either be eaten raw, fried, and in some cases dried. The delicacy is rich in proteins, vitamin D, copper, zinc, and magnesium. Bon appetit.
Enjoy your meal. Thanks, Immaculate Fogwe. Ladies and gentlemen, we took you to the Senegal Maritime of the littoral region of Cameroon. But time to go sport after 18. Smartji can give a toast of Cameroon and Senegal will be present as far as the Intercontinental FIFA playoffs ahead of the Women's World Cup is concerned next year. Both sides saw of Burkina Faso, rather Botswana and Tunisia in the repeat of matches played in Algeria, rather in Morocco over the weekend. His report.
An excellent Nchut Njoya Ajara goal before the first half break gave Cameroon the ticket to be present at the Intercontinental Playoffs for the 2023 FIFA Women's World Cup. Both teams, which were pushed out of the competition at the level of the quarterfinal, were hoping to get a chance of appearing at the FIFA Women's World Cup through the repechage game. Even though many knew on paper that Cameroon was going to outsmart the debutants, Botswana fought hard with the last man standing. As the competition came to an official end for Cameroon, their balance sheet reads in 5 matches played, the Lionesses won 2, lost 1 and drew 2, scored 4 goals and conceded 2 goals. In the entire tournament, Cameroon took home 10 yellow cards and 1 red card. The top scorers for Cameroon at the competition were Michaela Abam and Nchut Njoya Ajara with 2 goals each. In the other match played earlier, Senegal kept hopes of participating in a FIFA Women's World Cup for the first time in their history over the weekend by eliminating Tunisia on post-match penalty shootouts. The team of coach Mame Cisse ended the match in a goalless draw after 90 minutes, but the West African side held their nerves in the shootout as substitute Coca Fall slotted the winning penalty to send the sizable Senegalese support in the stands into rapture. Senegal played a total of 5 matches in the competition and lost 2. Cameroon and Senegal will now join other nations like Taiwan, Thailand, Haiti, and Panama while waiting for other European teams for the FIFA Women's World Cup playoffs in New Zealand in February 2023.
That's all for part one. Still for us, Talking Point is up next. Hello ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining us on Talking Points. Tonight we're receiving an educationist, we're receiving a civil society actor. He is a senior lecturer of economics in the University of Yaoundé 2 in Soir. He is Dr. Cho Waters. Doctor, thanks for accepting our invitation on Talking Points tonight on Equinoxe Television.
The pleasure is mine. Good evening to those who are in the Northwest and the Southwest. Thanks for inviting more on Talking Points on Equinoxe Television.
Coming from the weekend that was characterized, among others, by the presentation of the body of Field Marshal of the Lebialem to the people of the city of Kumba in the Southwest region. Now, the question many have been asking is this: what adds to or subtracts from the Anglophone crisis with the killing of Field Marshal?
The killing of Field Marshal is a humiliation to the region. Field Marshal is not able to the Anglophone crisis. Chris Ano, who is the cousin of Field Marshal, is the one who planned the coup d'etat to kill Field Marshal, because Field Marshal was not in Cameroon. When he came to Cameroon, they arranged to make him a passport so that he should travel abroad to destroy Red Dragon after the killing of the Yeke. So the death of Field Marshal meeting, they are advocating to end the Anglophone crisis in the Northwest and the Southwest. So Chris Ano is money collected this harm between some members of government in Yaoundé who are from Lebialem and who want that they should be promoted in the next government check-up, reshufflement, so as to reconstruct the Northwest and the Southwest. That is my take.
Why should Chris Ano kill Field Marshal? That all people understand that they were working together. Field Marshal was being hunted by the Defense and Security Forces of Cameroon, by the Cameroonian army.
You know that Chris Ano is no more also credible in the Ambazonian struggle, because President Samatan, who is the new president of the Ambazonia, now who is how he can contribute to the crisis. Chris Ano was destituted and he no longer has a speech in the say of the Northwest and the Southwest so far as the war is concerned. And President Sako Samuel Ekometu is no more credible. And so this is the group of people that some members of the government manipulated and used huge sums of money, more than hundreds of billions, so that the Red Dragon should be destroyed in Lebialem for the reconstruction ongoing works to take on. I know that the person who heads the reconstruction of the North and the Southwest held a meeting some few days ago, just the day that the time Freeman was killed. And the mission was that Field Marshal should be eliminated. And when he paid to Chris Ano, and Chris Ano participated in a video conference that was held in Yaoundé with some members of government. And the general plan was that Red Dragon should be destroyed and brought down to zero, so that Lebialem should be reconstructed, and the person who is an elite from Lebialem promoted to the highest rank in the government.
Who is that?
I don't want to call names here. We know the person who is in charge of the construction of the Northwest and the Southwest. He said that the amount that was rated was 89 billion. It has been taken to 150 billion francs CFA, with Japan giving close to 2.5 billion francs and 20 billion francs set to reconstruct Northwest and Southwest. The person is saying that 800 documents were reconstituted in Northwest and Southwest. 15 primary schools were reconstructed. 11 bridges reconstructed. Cassava, corn, and maize were the cash crops, the food crops that were decided that they should be reconstructed. I don't know what meaning it has to the crisis in Norwest and the Southwest. And the name is no other person than Paul Tasson, who is the president of the Reconstruction Committee of Norwest and the Southwest. So, eyewitnesses, credible sources, and you can confirm from me, it is what I say from North and the Southwest that you can confirm 80% that Chris Ano was the person who was put in front to lead the coup d'etat to kill Field Marshal. And I want to let you know that Field Marshal has nothing to do with the liberation war in the North and the Southwest. If no pity, General Sagat, Ten Kobo, and General Efan was killed, if they were killed, we would have said that it would have been news to us who are fighting on TV stations to liberate North and the Southwest. So it is no news. Field Marshal was credible before, but now he's no more credible. So your question to me, because it is no news.
Dr. Cho Waters, you are making allegations there, serious allegations, and accusing individuals with no legit proofs, no proofs that they were actually behind the assassination. But the army says it neutralized Field Marshal in an operation.
A lie. The army should not lie, you, my brother, the journalists of Equinoxe TV. The army lied to national and international community. The killing of Field Marshal was an arranged game between La République du Cameroon and Chris Anu, who is uncredited. He is not even credited by the Amazonian leaders who are abroad and on ground zero. You should open your eyes, my brother. The army carried out which operation? Did you see the operation? It was like the drama of the release of Senator Regina Mundi, where the family paid 48 million francs and the army of La République du Cameroon paid 35 million francs CFA. It is a drama. The operation was carried out where? Did you see the videos? Those images of Field Marshal presented in public. They are giving accreditations to Amazonian struggle to raise Field Marshal as hero.
We're staying to the official version. It's not only been confirmed by the army, an authority, the senior divisional officer for the Mehmet division, Tundo Chamberlain, speaking in Kumba, confirmed that Field Marshal was killed by the army, and he, as a most senior administrative officer of the Mehmet division, where the lifeless body was presented, speaks on behalf of the government and speaks for the voice of the government as of the official version. Except you have got proofs to what you're saying and the claims you're advancing that he was killed in a deal, which according to you was struck after a strategic meeting in Yaoundé. But you don't forget that the army has been fighting. The operations, several operations through the Kupem or the Lebialem division have been on even before the set meeting you claim held in Yaoundé.
Thank God you are speaking to Dr. Cho Waters, and you have to follow my recent declarations about the ongoing war or genocide in Norwest, and I want to tell you that when Silingi was killed in Senegal in the Casamance region, between the crisis going on in Senegal, he was leading the struggle of the terrorists there. It was because he had credibility as a leader of that. When Bin Laden was killed, everybody saw the video. I'm giving you examples. When Mobutu was killed, everybody saw the video. So why is it that Field Marshal was killed and we do not see the video of the killings and the operation carried out? We just saw the image presented in public. I have proofs. Everybody who wants proof should come to me. I will present the proof to him or her. The Tundo Chamberlain, they are just building, they're fabricating stories to lie to the President of the Republic that they carried out a successful operation. Nobody saw it happen. We just saw the video. I'm telling you the truth, and everybody knows Dr. Cho Waters. I don't speak with water in my mouth.
All right, if they had a deal that paid off with the elimination of a dreaded separatist leader like Field Marshal, are we now saying that there's a possibility of a similar deal used against other fighters that we have in these regions? You started by enumerating and calling the names of some others who are already very active as far as the crisis and confrontations are concerned on the field, be they in the northwest or in the southwest regions.
Obviously, my brother. Congratulations. The new general who was appointed in the field military region in Bamenda was fighting against Boko Haram. And so his mission there is to eliminate General Nopiti, General Sagat, Ten Kobo, and Efang. So Field Marshal was just in the plan to show that those who were there in the field military region were not doing a job to help La République du Cameroon. So the question you are asking me, I will tell you that the falling of the former generals like General Omega, General Ivo, General Spirito, General Daiman, General Ayeke, have not ended, their killings have not ended, the Anglophone crisis. The Anglophone crisis not ended. But now, who knows that if the new general that was appointed in the field military region, if he eliminates General No Pity, with a new General No Pity will not be born? That's the $1 billion question. The issue is not to eliminate all the generals, but the issue is that the military option is not the best strategy to solve the Anglophone crisis. We should call for ceasefire, serious negotiation, release of Sisiko Ayuk Tabe and Mancho BBC in prison.
Thank you very much.
Granted to all of them.
Thank you very much, Dr. Cho Waters. You are a senior lecturer of economics, University of Yaoundé 2. You are talking from Yaoundé, Cameroon. We happy you accepted our invitation. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for staying with your number one television channel, Equinoxe. Interesting programs continue shortly after this. You're going to be having Equinoxe Swap from Yaoundé and the French newscast, a full edition at 8 p.m. from Yaoundé. I'll be back here tomorrow, Tuesday at 6 p.m., God willing.